Hey folks, so I've already done one quick video on what's available for writing music on the new Raspberry Pi 5. I did just a quick overview just to show, what's available for it and what works. So now I thought you can look in my video library to see that. So now what I thought I would do is get some instruments out and throw together a quick track. What I'm using right now, I'm using my Volt 176 USB audio interface. I'm using my micro Korg just as a MIDI controller right now. I'm playing some baritone guitar and bass. And last but not least, my favorite little thing, the Korg Monotron. I love this little thing. It's a great noisemaker. It's really gritty and dirty. So let's go ahead and switch to the screen and get started on this. Okay, so now we're looking at my desktop. Let's bring up Reaper. Okay, so the first thing that I did is this drum track was created in a sample tracker, which, if you're not familiar, it's a sort of an old school way to write music. Sometimes it's fun to write drums in it because it I don't know, it gives that old school sound and it leaves a little bit more creativity. I have 3 sample trackers installed here. Milky Tracker, which is kind of like laid out like an old school tracker. Renoise, which is like a powerful, fully featured, has a ton of features. It's not free, but it's it's the high end one. And Sunvox is one I just recently discovered. It's a really unique and fun one. I'm having a lot of fun with. But anyways, so here, let's just listen to the drums first. And I put just a little bit of EQ on it. I just use the built-in EQ from Reaper. Click it on and off, you can kind of hear it cut some of the pittiness out of it. And second of all, I added some baritone guitar. Let's listen to that. And I just added a little bit of chorus. This was the Guitarix team. I use a few of their plugins. You could get them off the Add Remove Programs app depository. And then I wrote some bass. Here's the bass. And once again, I use the Guitarix team. Use the bass amp with a 12-inch cabinet just to kind of give it a little bit of grittiness. Here you can hear the difference. And then I used a synthesizer called Yoshimi just to add a couple little, just to add just a little bit of depth to it. This was another one that was on the App Store. Just simple 2-note thing. And then this track was Monotron, the Korg Monotron that I showed you earlier. I love this thing. Let's hear it. And I put a little bit of Zen Phaser and Zen Reverb on here. just to give that background spacey sound. And last but not least, the beatboxing. I just did 2 tracks of just very simple beatboxing. Here we go. And I just used the built-in reverb from Reaper and the Z course. As you can see, 7 tracks. I mean, multiple effects on many of the tracks, and you can see the CPU here barely even, maybe it doesn't even reach 10% a lot of the time. So it's like the Raspberry Pi 5 could do a lot of tracks if you wanted to. So I mean, for a $100 computer, this is pretty. I wish I had this when I was starting out, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and play the whole track so you can hear it. It's about 2 minutes long. You could fast forward to the end if you don't want to listen to it, but here we go. And that's it. So in conclusion, this could be an ideal setup for maybe like a singer-songwriter, someone just making like demo songs, maybe a bedroom electronic producer, noise producer, or something like that. You know, maybe who's someone who just wants to spend $100 on a computer and then, you know, take the rest of their budget and buy a decent audio interface and perhaps a halfway decent microphone. I love my Rode. But, you know, this probably isn't for, you know, someone who has 50 microphones and 1,000 Windows plugins or anything like that. This is just, you know, would be ideal for a student or someone on a, you know, a really tight budget. So, the good thing about the Raspberry Pi 5 is if you do in the future end up, you know, the CPU or the micro SD card becomes a bottleneck, you can always clock this CPU up to 3 gigahertz by just editing a simple text file. All you would need is the stock cooler. Oh, there's my cat. stop cooler that you can get from the any Raspberry Pi 5 site that sits right on the CPU. And with that cooler, it's like a $5 cooler. You could run this thing at 3 gigahertz, no problem, all day. And they also, this is, I think, the first Raspberry Pi. Hey, buddy. This is the first Raspberry Pi that has a PCIe interface on it, so you can add an M2 drive to it, which would, a bootable M2 would significantly increase the speed of the overall performance of the system. Would be, with the clocked up CPU and a SSD drive, it would dramatically increase the performance of this whole thing. But anyways, that's the end. So thanks for watching.